Hello.
Hello.
So guys, are you back here?
Yes.
All right. So we go for the more important part of today lecture, which is like auctioning. So I just want to review a little bit for you guys for the bond auction and stock auction. So things here is that for things I already mentioned previously for you guys for the bond auction, the investor joining the bond auction are those that are willing to buy the bonds and they have the need to buy the bonds. The same for stock auction, right? They join the auction in the primary market because they want to buy the share and this issue. So what is the kind of information that they need to give out for joining the auctions? So it will be interest rate for bond auction and value of the bonds that they would like to buy. And for the stock option, that will be the price that they are willing to buy, and the second one, the number of the share that they would like to buy. We have two types of auction: single price and multiple price. So single, only one winning price, or only one like winning interest rate. And multiple price, that will be many, more than one winning prices for winning interest rate. All right. That for review for the previous one. And remember that we have competitive and non-competitive investor. So if you want to get the good price for stock issuing and you want to get a good interest rate in terms of bond issuing, you can go for competitive investor side, and then it will like state out very clearly on the auction list or auction form about the bidding price and bidding interest rate. But if you still want to buy the share and if you still want to buy the bond, but you don't know which price or which interest rate that you need to write down so that you have like more potential to buy the share than the other investor. You can join non-competitive investor. Right. So I'll put down here some point that you need to remember. Wait a minute. So I put it down here something that you need to keep in mind. The first one for competitive, depending de- depending on investor bidding prices and bidding interest rate, they can win the auction or not. Like they could be able to buy the shares or bonds in this issue or not. Um, it could it could they could buy the full amount or part of the amount that they bid, right? But for non-competitive, competitive investor, all of this investor could buy the shares or bond in this issue, but certainly not full amount as they bid. The winning price for the winning price, sorry, the price or interest rate applied to them based on the winning price or prices in winning interest rate determined by competitive investor. All right. The prices for interest rate applied to this non-competitive investor will be based on the winning prices and winning interest rate, bidding price, and now bidding interest rate, right? So you are able to buy the share and buy the bond. Doesn't mean that you don't need to pay for it. You still need to pay for it, even though you don't have the bidding price. So what is the kind of criteria for me, for the issuer to determine what will be the price for you, for the non-competitive investor? So that will be based on the winning prices or winning interest rate determined by the competitive investor, right? There will be no case that all investors are non-competitive investors, right? In a particular auction, because if that, there will be no criteria, no no information to determine what will be the the winning price, and there will be what will be the winning interest rate, right? Because for this auction, the issuer will not be the one that determines the price, issuing price or issuing interest rate, but that will be depending on the investor, the demand of the share or bond. So if all the investors are non-competitive, there's no way for me to determine what will be winning prices and winning interest rate. So that will be the case. Not all investors are non-competitive investors. But there should be part of them are competitive, part of them are non-competitive, or all of them are all of them are competitive, right? So under Vietnamese regulation, the EC sign for competitive, for non-competitive investors are 30% of the total size at maximum. For example, like if firm A decides to raise capital, we are 10 million new shares on the auction method. I will sell 3 million shares for non-competitive investor. Maximum 3 million. So in this case, they can spare 2 million. All right. So in this case, it's good. But if you give the non-competitive investor 5 million shares, so that is not like not obey the regulation, and there will be punishment for firm A, right? So that's for competitive and non-competitive investors. Okay, all right, guys. So now we move to the next one. How do we do this? You can write out this one to do at home, true or false. This one is the additional question for you guys. Among introduced underwriting methods, which one is riskiest one for issuer, and which one is riskiest one for underwriter? So I need to put you this one here, risk for underwriter. Is that they need to hold the share after the issue, which they don't want to. Remember that the main function of underwriter is providing services underwriting service for fee by buying shares for profit. Risk for issuer is that cannot sell own the shares. Right. So based on this one, just do the section at home. All right. We go for this one. Previously already.
Can you put the previous slide? I cannot catch up.
Okay, this one.
Thank you.
This one is a hint for you guys. Keep in mind this for any question regarding underwriting method. If you already read out the question, could you quickly give me the answer so I can check right away for you if you did right or wrong? You already done. And you give me the answer for this one. So the other can take the rest at home. This one, among introduced underwriting method, which one is riskiest for the issuer? Hi.
I think it's number 3 or on underwriting. Yes.
All on none?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this one's the answer, right? I just put them here. Yeah, this one's like, it's like from my side, I don't want to put down these 2 questions, but sometimes they ask me these 2 questions. I don't care about these 2 questions because you know, right? Issuer is the one that choose the underwriting method. So they understand their needs the most, right? If they really need the shares for raising the capital, if they really need the issue to be successful done, so and they really need the capital, they cannot be risky in choosing like all or none, right? I am with Tang on this point. All or none is the riskiest one for the issuer because they can lose the amount of capital that they can raise, even though one share are not sold, right? So all or none is riskiest, but in reality, the one that chooses the underwriting method is the issuer. So if they really need the money, they cannot choose or they cannot go for all or none, right? At least they will go for best effort or firm commitment. So this one, if you need to answer, so this one is correct from my side. Thank you, Tang, for that one. For second question, do you have the answer? Tang?
I think it's the firm commitment.
Yeah, firm commitment. Why? Am I writing this one wrong? Commitment seems like we have 2 T, double T. Let me check.
Yes, double T.
Okay, thank you for that one. So, Kai, what's the answer for that? The explanation for that?
Because the underwriter have to hold the the remaining shares of the issuer. So whether if that company have problems, so that they will not they will have not the money to get back.
Yeah, that could be the case, right? For the thank you for that one, guys. So for the firm commitment, it's like in any ways you need to buy back the remaining share if not all if all the shares not sold out to the investor, right? So that will be the case. Like I don't want to hold that share. I just want to get the underwriting fee, but now because of the source of the issue is not good, so I need to hold that share. And like after the issue, the share price in the secondary market just dropped, right? And then underwriter will be in risky situations now. You hold the share that you don't want, and now the value of the share is decreasing as well. So that could be the case happening. So they don't want that. That would be the riskiest one for the underwriter. So if the substance of the issue is not good enough to compensate for that one, usually for underwriter they will charge the issuer higher fee, right? To compensate for the risk. Right, if we go for the auctioning, so we have single price and like multiple price. Let me see here. Just copy this one down before you do the exercise. This is the steps I write down for you guys for doing auction exercises. Just copy it down with it carefully. I will give you 2 minutes to do it, and then we'll go for exercise. Remember, we have this kind of step, making deposits, right? Try to remember the formula. And then you will make the bid. And the bid here will be, first up, it will be the volume and the price. For bond, it will be the value and the interest rate, right? And then due for the auction result depends on single price or multiple price method, or depending on your competitive or non-competitive. All right. Just one small note is that you make wrong priority orders of stock price of bidding price. Bidding prices or interest rate. So whose deposit? Whose deposit? That's the first case. The second case, 1, 2, 3.
Bố tắt đèn không bố?
Win the auction but don't show up to pay and receive the shares or bond. So once again, lose the deposit. That's kind of penalty, right? Because you win the auction, you win the other chance, but then you don't take that chance. If you guys are done with the reading, and copy the other step to skip a thumbs up sign so that I can know. I see all the details. What about the others? You guys are not done? Just without very carefully done.
Used to know. I still play your name. I'm not trying to sign name.
Here we go for option one. Example one. RTI use on example one, and then it will do the rest, and we will correct tomorrow morning.
Oh. Trời ơi.
Okay, guys, so we have this one. The first step, just check the first step, what you need to do. Ordering bid in priority, right, based on the bidding price. So you need to stand on the side of the issuer. The issuer would like to sell the share to those that get the good price, meaning at the high price, right? They want to sell the share to those that pay them the high price. So in this case, you need to ordering the low price, like 20, 90.8, 90.5, 90.1, 19, and 18.5. So, so it's like they want to be done with the all. But you need to keep in mind this one. The floor price is 18, right? The floor price 18, meaning that the ordering bid, the bid that's made by the investors should be from 18 and above, because the floor price is determined by the issuer, and they need to sell the share at the minimum price of 18. Otherwise, they will not collect enough capital for their operation. So those make the bids with less than 18 will be losing the deposit as well. In this case, there are none of them, right? There's no guys in the investor side that make the bid less than 18, so they are all fine, right?
Dạ.
A, B, C, D, E,
Dạ.
F, they are all making the good price comparing to the
Chịu thôi, cái đấy
price,
không hết được
but
đâu.
they bid with a different price.
Không,
We need
không
to
biết
order,
anh đâu.
but then in this case, the order is already good, it's really exact,
No.
so we don't need to say anything. The second step is that you need to accumulate the quantity. So how do you calculate that? It's 80, accumulating meaning that it will keep adding up the value from the beginning to the top, from top to the bottom. So this 180 plus 100, and keep continuing that one. I will explain you guys why we need to do so. Are guys all done? So why do we need this accumulated share? We need to do this. We need to do this. We need to do this for the issuer, because the issuer needs to determine what will be the winning price. So at the price of 20, if the issuer decides the winning price of this issue is 20. So in this case, only 80,000 shares will be sold out, and so on only to A, right? Because B, with the price of 19.8, we're not willing to buy the share at 20, right? C buying so if the price is set at 20, only 80,000 number of the shares like sold out, right? At the price of 19.8, so if the price 19.8, C, D, E, F will not be willing to buy the share at the price of 19.8 because it's higher than their price. They would not accept to buy the share more expensive than they can, right? But for A bid the price of 20. If the price of this auction is 19.8, so A is so much willing to buy the share, right? So if the price of the share of this issue is 19.8, then the total number of the share that firm can raise from its issue is 80 plus 100, so it's 180 shares, right? So this is the meaning of accumulating the share from the top to the bottom. So if the price of the auction is 18.5, so all of the investors making the bid here will be willing to buy the share at the price of 18.5. So the expected number of the share that the firm can issue is 520,000 shares. But look at the demand, so the supply, sorry. Look at the supply of the firm here. Firm could sell only 300,000 shares. So what will be the price of the stock accumulating? That's this one. All right. So we will make one answer, one statement at the price of 19.1. firm A could issue all 300, sorry, thousand shares. All right, this one is just a statement. And we stop there, not without yet. At the price of 19.1, firm A could issue all 300 shares. Now we go for the option result, which I already mentioned, could be different if there is single or multiple price option. All the investor here, they're giving the price. So all of the investors are competitive investors. They compete to each other to get the chance to buy the share, right? Because they beat the price, so they are competitive investors competing based on the price. The auction result, if this one is single price auction, and if this one is multiple price auction, the result will be different. We have winning bid for investor. Yep, winning like volume. And we have winning prices. So we stop here, right? Because at the price of 19.1, I already issue all the share that I want. So I stop at B, but you need to fill in all the price cells in the accumulation table, right? You need to accumulate from the top to the bottom, and then you can like mark on the table which price or which row that it will stop accumulating. So here meaning that A, B, C, D will win the auction, right? From the top price to the price that it will stop accumulating. So A, B, C, D will win the auction. We put here A, B, C, and D, right? The next one, winning performance, will be based on the priority order. Who put the good price will be able to buy the share first. All right. So I will be allowed to buy all the share that they bid. So this one, 80,000. This one. B will be how many years, guys? How many shares that I could buy? So A, they put a good price, so A will be allowed to buy first. A could buy all 80,000. Next will be B. B will be able to buy 100, C, 50, and accumulate the quantity of ABC is already 330. So the firm supply only 300,000. So the remaining will be allotted to B, which is 70, right? Even though D bid for 120,000 share, but then the remaining amount of share for D is only 70,000. So D need to accept this because it's based on the priority of the price. You make the like the least preferable price for the firm, so you will have the last chance to buy the share. This is the same for multiple price auction. Winning price will be different if the case is single price or multiple price. Because the single price, so only one. Winning price.
So I have a question.
Only
Teacher,
one winning price. Sorry? Yep.
you said that the priority is count on the amount they buy, the bidder price, or not the
The
number
price.
of shares, the priority.
No, based on the price. The priority.
Yeah.
The priority. Will be based
Who
on the
buys the higher price could buy first or could buy more.
No, could be buying first.
Okay.
The first one to buy. Yeah. This one. From the side of the firm, they will base on the price if that's stock auction, and they will base on the interest rate if that's the bond auction. So if that the stock, the firm would like to sell their share with a good price, with a high price, right? So if you are the investor and you bid with a good price, with a high price, you will have the chance to buy first, and then the later chance will be given to those that with less prefer or less good price, lower price, right? But in terms of interest rate, if that is bond auction, and you need to beat the interest rate, which interest rate the issuer will prefer more? The high interest rate or the lower interest rate? What do you think? In terms of priority. If this is not stock auction but instead bond auction, and you need to bid with each other, you need to compete with each other in terms of interest rate. So from the side of the issuer will prefer good interest rate, meaning that low or high interest rate. That
the issuer they will enjoy the low interest rate because they will don't need to pay more coupon. The less interest rate, the lower the interest rate.
Right, exactly. So in terms of stock, price is what they receive, right? But in terms of bond, interest rate is what the issuer needs to pay. So what they will receive, they need to good price to receive higher amount. But for interest rate, since they need to pay, so they want to pay with a lower amount. So if the interest rate is beat by at the low level, so they will prefer more. So keep in mind that one, because if you make the wrong priority, you will get the wrong result. Right? Okay, we go back for this one. Since it's single price auction, so it will be the price that you stop the accumulation, 19.1. Or this investor will be buying at 19.1 and 19.1. So if the auction is single price, so if this one is single price auction, then if you make the higher price, you have the higher chance to buy the share. And then you still can end up in like paying lower price, right? Like the case of ABC here. ABC beats the price higher than 19.1. ABC have higher chance to buy the share compared to D, right? But in the end, ABC, D still can get the share with lower price than they bid 19.1, right? But that will be not the case for multi-price auction. If the auction is announced to be multiple price auction, so what you bid will be what you pay when you win the auction, meaning that the winning price for A will be 20, B 19.8, C 19.5, so in D 19.1. So in terms of price, multiple price auction will be less preferable than single price auction from the side of investor, right? I bid higher, I get higher chance, but but I need to pay higher as well, more expensive than the other investor. But for single price auction, higher price, higher chance, and I still can get lower winning price, lower paying price for receiving the shares. All right. So this is done for the result of the auction. A, B, C, D are the winners, and the volume and the price depending on the type of auction. So regarding this, do you guys have any questions? Now we have additional questions. Nhung?
My question is, in the single price auction, if A and B have the same price and the volume of the price, the sum of the volume of the price is over the volume they will issue. So in this case, what volume A and B will receive?
A and B what?
If A and B have the bidding price are the same as 20, and the sum of number of stocks they order is greater than 300,000 shares, so what the winning volumes will be there?
Oh, I get the question. So if A, B, C, D, their own bid at 19.1, right?
Yes.
I see.
They can also bid at 20.
So the case you ask here is like A, B, C, D. Just wait a minute. I get the point. Here, I put right here. All right. So in this case, A, B, C, D will be written in one like single row. This one will be 19.1, and this one is this, right? Right? Assume this is the case, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's very good questions. If this case happens, so they need to, they need to allot, because A, B, C, D, they have the same price, so there's no criteria to put A, B, C, D to be the first or the second or the third and the fourth people to buy the share, right? In this case, they have the same price, so they have the equal right to buy the share. And how do we decide what will be the number of the share that they can buy? For A, B, C, and D, the bidding volume is like this. The bid, let me copy from here. The bid is like this. This one total is sum of this. All right, this one. So we have the share A bid share in total bid. This one will be 80 the share. Ở đây là tỷ lệ hợp thị phần đấy, chứ không phải là share cổ phiếu. $80 over 350, right? All right. So among 350, there will be 80 of A, 100 of B, 50 of C, and 120 of D. So it will be able to buy this share times 30,000. All right. That will be the amount for each of them. So I will make the round number so you can see. This is the number of the share that each of them can buy. So 300,000, right? Am I answering the question?
Yes.
The share, the ratio, the proportion. Okay, let me change the word so you will not make mistake. Proportion. This one. Proportion. Sure. Right, this one. You need to calculate based on the ratio of this A, C, to the this one will be the share 80 over 350, 100 over 330, 50 over 350, and 120 over 350. Okay, very good question. Anyway, okay, that's for the question of Nhung. And then we have the single price auction and multiple price auction. There will be additional questions like this. They will ask you the question if you, I will pass you back. The question, calculate the total remaining payment. Oh, sorry, this question here. Calculating the remaining payment of investor B, D, and E. So this is the second question. I will move you back to the Excel file. So I will give you the formula first. This one, total payment. Number of being shares. 5%, 10%, 10, bit, 10, raw price, 10%, remaining payment will be equal to total payment minus deposit. Right. And it will calculate for the case of B, C, and D. Right. For E did not win the auction, so all of this are zero. Right. So remaining payment of E will be zero because E doesn't win the auction, right? And it will receive the deposit back if investor go through the auction process and those one win the auction, they will get the deposit back. For B, this one will be winning number of shares 100,000 times winning price 19.1, right? I suggest you to put the full amount so that it will not how to say, make mistake in the unit of the calculation. The deposit, paid deposit 100,000. 100,000. Wait a minute, it's just too much. Times the floor price 18, right? And times 10%. That will be the calculation. And then the remaining amount will be the number 1 minus number 2, right? The first row minus the second row. D, could you give me the calculation for D? Anyone volunteer to read for me the formula, calculation formula? Time.
It would be 70,000 multiplied 19,100. 19,100. So the next will be 70,000 multiply 18,000 multiply 10%.
Do you like to change something? Would you like to change something?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for that one, Rian.
In the second line, we have to change 70,000 into 120,000.
Yeah, that exactly. Thank you, Rian, for that one. You know that deposit we make before we know the result, right? So we cannot know that we win 70,000 to make the deposit with 70,000. So deposit you need to make with the bidding shares and the floor price. The same reason for floor price. When you join the auction, you need to make deposit first, and at the time that you make deposit, you don't know what will be the winning price in winning quantity. So you need to multiple with the bidding shares and with the floor price, right? So that is the correct answer. Remember this one. Okay. So you guys, you just practice for the second one, multi-price auction during the same calculation, and you will do the bond exercise at home. I will give you this one, the formula for bond, and then you will do at home. All right. If you have any questions, just ask me. For bond auction, the total payment will be winning value of bond, deposit this one, bidding bond value, times 5%. Right. A bond auction is a bit different because they don't bid the bond number, but they bid the bond value. So we only have the money, right? And this is the calculation for bond auction. Okay, guys. So please do the exercise home. We already sent you the problem set from the beginning of the course, right? Just check it out and do the question regarding QM, P1 calculation, and auctioning as well. So see you tomorrow for correcting the exercises. See you tomorrow, guys.